Can you see my screen?
I sure can. Support groups. That's the topic I was looking for.
Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for allowing me to join you today. My name is Michaela Lang, and I am 23 years old. I am currently the Youth and Young Adult Coordinator for the Ohio Healthy Transitions Project, and I am also a social work trainee at the Mandela School of Applied Social Sciences at Case Western Reserve University. Today, I am here to discuss support groups with you, specifically for multi-system youth and their families. As a former multi-system youth myself, I hope to offer you a unique perspective. We will be using the most basic definition for multi-system youth today, meaning that the young person is involved in more than one system, most commonly mental health and juvenile justice. It is common for these youth to go undetected. Youth involved in these systems may be underserved, oppressed, traumatized, and overall, young people in this transitional phase between systems are 8 times more likely to drop out of services. So, why are peer supports so important for multi-system youth and parents of multi-system youth? Well, support groups are a less formal support system for people just like them with similar experiences and similar viewpoints. Young people are able to more comfortably connect with other peers that have similar experiences than with social workers. Finding out for the first time in your life that you're not the only one in any category can simply be extraordinary. Knowing and hearing real stories of resilience is powerful, inspiring, and even infectious. Young people will be more intrinsically motivated to open up and share their own stories without fear of judgment or stigma in a support group. They say we are alike with the people we surround ourselves with. And when youth are around people who promote recovery instead of recklessness, youth are even further motivated to help themselves and others around them. Support groups help create an environment of positivity and strength. Social workers do have the ability to accidentally invalidate young people's experiences and not be aware of it. They also are often unaware that multi-system youth have the ability to pick up on those adverse unintended reactions that sometimes may happen. With the support group, young people open up to each other on a one-to-one level, with the absence of a power differential. All in all, there are numerous reasons to access support groups. Some youth are open to the idea, but are completely lost when it comes to finding a support group. They likely may also wish to keep it private, so they will not reach out for help finding a support group, and professionals, even if they do reach out for help, may not know where to find free or specific support groups at the click of a hand for their young people. The best thing about support groups is that if you can't find one locally, you're sure to find a virtual peer support group. Mental Health America is one of the leading community-based nonprofits dedicating to addressing the needs of those living with mental health and promoting the mental health of all. Mental Health America is a great collection of resources, and through their local affiliates, you can easily find in-person local support groups near you for parents or for youth. Let's talk about virtual support groups specifically. The great thing about virtual peer support groups is that you can maintain a level of anonymity. Many multi-system youth might prefer this or enjoy being able to control how much of themselves they can reveal, allowing them to be much more comfortable in these online environments. Young people can get on and simply observe without participating should they wish. But one of the greatest benefits is that it eliminates the transportation barrier, though of course it does require a smartphone or laptop. The link provided here is an article that describes the unlimited amount of types of online support groups. There are links for online book clubs, exercise clubs, and tips for staying connected as well through the pandemic, and not just limited to mental health or other conditions. Many include chat features so that young people can converse privately and virtually make friendships over the web. Moving forward, it is safe to say that some multi-system youth will prefer to continue staying connected virtually even after the pandemic. There is some debate regarding the efficiency of online support groups, little evidence that it provides a major impact on an overall standard. However, if a group like this is promoting social inclusion and companionship for young people on any level, is it not worth it to engage? Some peer support groups here are specifically for depression or bipolar, specifically around recovery, or in the case of Hey Peers, there are numerous numbers of topics for support groups that you can get involved with. So online peer support, I wanted to say actually, before I move on, that this is a little different because there really should be no cost to the peer. But traditional peer support programs obviously can bill Medicaid. Hey Peers does aim to make it virtual and at no cost to individuals. Peer support programs online specifically implies that they are led by certified peer recovery supporters, which also indicates a level of ability to provide mediation and validation of people's experiences. And now on to medical support groups. So I wanted to make sure that I dedicated some time to discuss medical support groups and the impact that they can have on multi-system youth and parents. Whether it's the young person or the multi-system youth parent experiencing a new chronic illness or diagnosis, it will impact the entire family. Multi-system youth, when diagnosed, often do not have the proper parental guidance or even health insurance to properly cope with the new condition, let alone understand it. They're being diagnosed with serious medical conditions such as diabetes, epilepsy, cancer, and more, with little access or knowledge that resources exist. Speaking with other youth or parents with the same conditions can make a large difference for the family and breed hope. Some of these support groups are available through the United Way 211 of Greater Lorain County, but it is also available in your local 211. Now let's take a look at some specific support groups, obviously aimed at serving a specific population. For example, I Survive is specifically created for survivors of child abuse. These support groups may be just what a young person is looking for. These support groups, or actually, for example, if a young teenage girl experiences a traumatic experience, such as rape, a specific support group for survivors of that specific trauma can help them work through the topics that they really need to. Some young people do join like general support groups and expect them to address every topic of trauma, which, is impossible. But support groups like Pandora's Project, Women's Law, Life Ring, etc., are all great examples of these specific support groups that can address the young people's specific needs. I wanted to make sure that I included a second slide indicating that there are specific online support groups for support groups that may have normally been in person. Al-Anon is one good example of that. To wrap up, I wanted to provide some resources for self-education. Similarly, how psychiatry can help make therapy more effective, self-education can help make support groups more effective. The more that multi-system youth and parents can truly understand and process what they are going through, the better that they can notice, describe, and therefore cope with those experiences. I think that through self-education, more young people are able to explore things like activism, culture, and how those things are connected to their mental health recovery. Another really good resource is Turning Point. This is available to all youth nationally, and it is an initiative that promotes self-advocacy and freedom. I think there are a lot of unique resources available there, so I wanted to make sure that I included it. Next, of course, I wanted to make sure everyone understands that parent peer support is a specific thing that you can get certified in, offered through OMAS. NAMI Ohio also is a great resource when it comes to parent peer support. All of the parent peer supporters that I have interacted with were parent peer supporters through NAMI or through the Ohio Interagency Council for Youth. Parent peer support certifications are available at the website listed below, or actually I think that's for the Medicaid certification. But if you go to OMAS's website, you can get more information on how to become a certified parent peer support specialist. Also, I wanted to make sure that I put a resource slide on here because even though you would assume that if you're getting involved in a support group, you're probably not on the crisis level, there's always the potential that the young people will get to that crisis level. So having a good collection of resources such as NAMI Greater Health, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, the Crisis Text Line, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, the National Sexual Assault Hotline, and the Rape Crisis Centers in your area is integral to making sure that young people have access to all the resources they need. The crisis text line, I think particularly, is a great resource for young people as they often will prefer to text than, I guess, speaking on the phone. Some additional support and crisis lines are the RAIN National Sexual Assault Hotline, the Ohio Sexual Violence Hotline, the Alliance to Ending Sexual Violence, the Sexual Violence Resource Center, the National Human Trafficking Hotline, and the Collaborative to End Human Trafficking. Some resources available through SAMHSA. As I mentioned earlier, the Ohio Healthy Transitions Project is a higher level resource for young people. So if they need a little bit more than a support group, that would be a good resource. And SAMHSA also offers many other resources, such as self-education. Really, it's unlimited. There's so many resources on there, you can't put a name to it. But it's all dealing with the mental health community. So if you want the link to the National Helpline or to browse all of the other resources that are offered, please visit that site. Also, the PowerPoint will be sent out after, as Bobby mentioned, but all of the hyperlinks in this PowerPoint, like I said, are hyperlinks and it's embedded. So if you click on it, it'll take you straight to the site. Lastly, I just wanted to say thank you for your time, and I hope that you found this information useful.